How's the week off been? Obviously there was no game last weekend, so how was it with the lads? I know there was a bit of a team bonding session on Saturday, wasn't there?
Yeah. So we had a bit of a down week last week in terms of just managing the workload. We've got quite a few injuries. The injury list was stacking up last week, to be honest. So start managing the workload, getting bodies moving. And like you said, we've not had a pre-season, so we did a bit of a connection session on Saturday in terms of a bit of team bonding on the pitch, and then we went to an alternative venue there. Just talked about kind of why we're doing what we're doing at the minute, in terms of obviously me coming in being a coach and the players being players, and why you do what you do ultimately. And it really, some stories were really touching there on Saturday, and it really brought us, or hopefully it'll bring us together going into the future.
You mentioned about injuries there. What's the update?
Yeah, so I think we've got around 6-7 of our own players currently injured. I think 3 of them are quite long term, probably touching towards the back end of the season, if not ruled out for the season. And then we've got 2 or 3 who are kind of 2 or 3 weeks away as well. So probably not back for this week, but we've got a week off after Widnes. So hopefully come when we're back in, we'll probably get 2 or 3 more bodies there. But yeah, still quite a big injury list at the minute.
And how are you and the lads feeling going into Widnes on Sunday?
Yeah, no, it's another huge test for us. Widnes are probably a top 4 team now in Championship, and got some really good players there, spent a lot of money in terms of the budget. So yeah, Alan's built a really good and really strong team there for Widnes. And again, they've had some really good results in the last few weeks as well. Putting points on the board, but also keeping teams to nil as well. So I think both sides of the game in terms of attack and defence, we've got to be on the money. But yeah, I think going into this week now, we've had kind of a deload week last week. I'm going into this week with all guns blazing, be getting ready to be back at home on Sunday.
And Widnes are unbeaten in the last 3. Are there any key areas that you're looking at focusing on Sunday? Yeah,
I think for us it's all about a process, you know, and we talk about kind of keeping teams in corners, kicking them in their own 10, and then trapping them in them sorts of areas there in terms of the red zone, if you like. So they've got some strong back 5, and they get them up the field, they fight on the floor, they win penalties to them, put them in good field position, and again with the ball in good ball, they've got some really good pivots in there, with some strikes on edges, who are in some really good form as well. So we've got to be on our game. Everyone's got to be playing at 8, 9s out of 10 to give ourselves the best chance possible to get the win on Sunday.
And I've not spoken to you since Sheffield Eagles, I think. What did you make of Joe Baldwin and Cole Oakley's debut, both obviously going over?
Yeah, no, I think start with Joe. I think obviously we had to spell Brad at some points, and Brad's done an amazing job for us, and he's playing some long minutes. So to bring Baldy in gives us a different dynamic for when we can bring Brad off, to give him a rest, to get the best outcome or output, for Brad when he gets into his second stint. So, but yeah, when Baldy come on, I thought he'd give us a different dynamic in the middle in terms of give us some energy in the defence and attack, and that's where he got his try off. To be honest, he spotted that obviously it was a quick ruck, late retreat, and he just set off and went and got his try. And similar with Cole, I thought Cole was really good, give us a different strike on an edge. I think he actually made the most tackles as well in the game, Cole, so we got through a lot of work. I think Sheffield had spotted up our pivots in terms of Toby and Lewis, and he got through a lot of work there trying to protect Toby, and again he got a well-deserved try as well, and probably should have had 2. So no, really, we've been really impressed with Joe and Cole, you know, not just on the pitch, I think off the pitch as well, with training and video and stuff like that. They've been speaking up, they've been helping and guiding the younger players, because they're both kind of young players themselves, but they've got some experience in this sort of division. So they've brought a different dynamic there as well for us, which just helps me out, helps Brad out, and helps the players out then.
And then 5 new loan signings coming in for the game against Widnes. What do you make of that?
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, we've got a lot of injuries and an injury list, but again, it just presents an opportunity for them guys coming in, the loan players, whether they've not got a game this week for the reserves or they're not quite getting into the first team. So it gives them an opportunity to obviously impress the current clubs, and obviously bring their own stamp on the club, you know, and try to impress us. We're growing and we're building the club nicely, and it's growing at a fast pace, you know, and some players might be out of contracts or they're out of favour. So it's just about being in the shop window and impressing, you know, and we're bringing some young lads in there who are going to be keen, and I've watched some of them in terms of they've hit a bit of form as well, going into the last few weeks, and they might not necessarily have a game this week. So no, I'm looking forward to working with the 5 players that are going to be coming in. I think we've been managing our loans really well in the last few weeks, and they've been integrating in with the group as well as soon as they arrive as well, so which is good and promising. So hopefully we get the same again on Sunday.
And what's your message to the fans ahead of the game against Widnes on Sunday?
Yeah, no, I think the fans have been amazing since day one, and they've really been an 18th man home and away. I mean, the crowds that they bring into away games is really special, and I think just the atmosphere at home games as well has been really special as well, and really touching at some points, and probably got us over the line in the games like the Hunslet game and the Batley game. So hopefully they can bring the same again. It's going to be a tough game, it's going to be a challenge, but they can be really our 18th man and help us get over the line there in tight contests. We've got to control what we need to control, but they've been huge for us and massive for us. So hopefully they bring the same energy and atmosphere again going into Sunday as well.
Best of luck for Sunday, Chewie.
Cheers, Dan.